Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Marketing Blender Show. I'm Dacia.
And I'm Daisy.
Now, today we are chatting about, is different actually better in marketing? Now, this one is really fun because these are different strategies. So, Daisy, for you, why did this topic come up?
Well, we obviously just had another great podcast about differentiation and why it matters. So playing a little bit of devil's advocate here, is different always the magic bullet that people think it is? So there's a difference between being different and being better. And these are different brand strategies, because if you're way better than your competitors, much better, much faster, much cheaper, much whatever it is that matters to your clients, that might be the best strategy for you. But if it's being different that makes it harder for your competitors to imitate you, and that's what's keeping you safe in terms of maintaining your revenue, maintaining your business resilience, then sometimes differentiation is a better strategy. But you shouldn't just always assume that being different is the thing that's going to make your brand stronger.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So really quick, we see better, faster, cheaper. We see people equate that as that's our differentiation. No, that is your Even if you are the est, you are the best, the bestest at something, it's not different, it's better. And the thing about being better is people can catch up with you, or there can be a disruption, or something can happen. So you're right, where being ahead of the crowd can be incredibly beneficial, but you also have to ask yourself, for how long? Is there a risk inherent in, can we maintain our betterness? And so I always want to caution, it's not the same. These are very different strategies. And even if your betterness is different now, it's still not a differentiation strategy. So I know I'm chasing a squirrel a little bit there, but we do see a lot of that cumbersome confusion that can really slow down a marketing campaign by mistaking those two.
There's also confusion about differentiation versus positioning.
Yes. Positioning is about the space that you have in a customer's mind, and differentiation has oftentimes to do with attributes or delivery methods. And so while positioning definitely influences differentiation, they need to both be addressed, because positioning then cascades down into how you go about your differentiation choices and your strategies.
Absolutely. There's also a very important point to make here about which differentiators to pursue. Not every difference matters to your customers. And this is where my clients sometimes get a little bit upset, because I ask the who cares question. So when they tell me the things, that make their brand different, and they tell me things like, we're a family-owned business, and I ask, is that a decision-making criteria for your customers? Is that the thing that makes them sign on the dotted line and choose you over the competition? Does that make you the only and obvious choice to solve your ideal customer's problem? If the answer is no, then hey, it can be a nice point in your brand story, but it is not a brand differentiator, and it does not constitute your incomparable advantage.
Absolutely. So frequently when we're thinking about differentiation, we're wanting to answer two different questions. First, most important, what's in it for me? This is exactly what Daisy was hinting at, is does the differentiation that you have in your product or in your company drive value for your customer, and actually answer that question. And then the second is potentially, does it resonate with who they are from an identity standpoint and how they see the world? And now these are two different differentiation strategies, right? Identity play, like we have a shared vision, we have a shared history, or we have shared values, and the rest of the market doesn't get it. Like we are the same people as the people we serve. That's a really powerful one, but it's a very specific lane that is different when you're thinking more about product attributes or innovation or ways of delivery that answer what's in it for me. And I like both of these lanes. They don't have to be separate.
It's true. And when it comes to tribal marketing, it's about sharing the same difference.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see if we can count how many times we say the word different or difference in this episode.
God, it's not a drinking
It's going to be a lot.
Exactly.
But speaking of one of the values of differentiation, it's one of the things that makes you memorable and sticky for your target market. A few years ago, I had the pleasure of watching Jay Baer give a speech on talk triggers, and that's a great book. We'll link to it in the comments below. But he was talking about things that help with word of mouth marketing. And this is an area where a lot of our B2B clients come to us and say, hey, we work mostly by referrals and by word of mouth, but how do you cultivate that on purpose? You do that by making your brand literally remarkable so that people remark on it to other people. So a couple of good examples from Jay's book, the DoubleTree hotels by Hilton, they're the ones that give you the giant chocolate chip cookie that's warm and fresh out of the oven when you check in and makes you feel at home. There's the Cheesecake Factory that has a 40-page menu. Nobody needs that many choices, but guess what? People talk about it. So there are ways that you can deliberately introduce differentiation into your brand experience that makes you memorable and makes you talk worthy.
This ad is brought to you by the Marketing Blender. As you guys know, I'm a fractional CMO, and actually at the Marketing Blender, there's a whole team of us. For a fraction of the cost of a full-time executive, you can hire a chief marketing officer to write your marketing plan, to clean up your messaging and your positioning, and to drive sustainable results. We oversee multiple partners, we help mentor team members, and most importantly, we build a marketing machine that will drive results for your company for years to come. If you're curious about what this looks like, and some of our engagements go from a couple months to a couple years, check out themarketingblender.com. And you know, if somebody loves that difference so much, it insulates you from price wars. So that's one of the other benefits of differentiation is if you're really clear what emotional response your differentiation is triggering or what value response. So reducing risk, saving money, accelerating a career, making someone look good, whatever value response that you're actually triggering. Wow, people will pay more for that because that's actually what they're buying. And that's what's so fun about this is because I feel like when you do differentiation really well, you become ruthlessly focused on the people that you are called to serve. And it's not just marketing. It's about really cutting away all the fluff and all the fat of why do we do what we do and how does it make a difference for the people that we serve.
And moving deeper into the tactics of this, there's a lot that can be done in terms of marketing campaigns. We hear terms like guerrilla marketing and, you know, really the kind of the shock and awe tactics that some marketing agencies pursue to help their clients gain, I guess, notoriety or, you know, notice within the market if you're doing it in a positive way. It's a challenge sometimes to not be gimmicky with that when you're just doing something to get attention. But if you're very deliberate and you're looking to surprise and delight your customers, show up in a place that they're not expecting and do something awesome, be bold with that. Don't be afraid to reach out to your customers in a new way.
Yes, exactly. You know, there's that phrase, nothing new under the sun. But man, we can all personalize it and make it something really, really special. And you know, what you're hitting on is really triggering emotions on purpose. And you're right, surprise and delight. Like, talk about different. Like, the world has just gotten so busy that alone is a differentiation strategy.
It certainly is. And one other thing that I'd like to touch on before we close is that some of the most important differentiations are driven by values. So this is one of the first places that I look for differentiation within an organization. When we do workshops around brand attributes, we surface values that are truly core and that are truly different. So we're not using buzzwords of doom like integrity and customer service and quality, but we really get to the heart of what the values are that make a company unique. And because those values make things better for customers, they really do drive differentiation.
I love it. Well, you guys, this has been so much fun. Hopefully you haven't wasted your time counting how many times we said different or differentiation. But if we are going to list a whole bunch of those resources that we mentioned down there in the show notes, we're also going to list a couple of resources, including connecting with us Differentiation can be a real challenge to go through, and hiring an outside facilitator to help guide the strategy through this can be incredibly powerful. So if you want to talk about that and you want to learn a little bit more about what our process looks like, we're going to link that down there too. But as always, we hope you enjoyed it, and we would love to see you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Onward and upward.
We hope you learned something today that will help you succeed with your marketing.
And if you liked what you heard, definitely give us a thumbs up and a subscribe.
Don't forget to check the show notes. We're sharing free tools and resources there.
And you guys, we would love to hear your comments. So drop one in or send us an email, and maybe we'll use your topic on a future show.